Hi, good evening, and welcome to the Wednesday meeting of the Insight Meditation Community of Charlotte. We'll begin our time together with a 30-minute meditation, followed by a dharma talk, then a time for questions and comments, some brief announcements, then a metta meditation to conclude our time together. Thank you for being here tonight. It's good to have you as part of this gathering. As we settle into our time of meditation, I invite you to find a posture that is both comfortable and dignified, one in which you can establish mindfulness. Mindfulness in front of you, mindfulness behind you, mindfulness from your head down through your spine, mindfulness of sounds, mindfulness of smells, mindfulness of feelings, both in your body and in your mind. May your very being establish mindfulness, fully present, present in this wonderful moment with those of like mind and spirit, gathered in peace, kindness, and compassion. As you allow your body to become still, become aware of the movement of your breath as it comes into your body and as it leaves your body. Not manipulating the breath in any way or trying to change it. Simply being aware of it in gentle, rolling waves, coming in and going out with the peace of a gentle shore, being totally present in each moment with each breath. Not trying to do anything, not trying to get any place, simply being with your breath, becoming peacefully still, here, now, safe in this place. Welcome again. I'm Larry Dawalt, one of the IMCC Dharma leaders in training. And tonight I want to share some thoughts on the bare necessities of a meditation practice. What were your favorite movies growing up? I achieved what I would call movie watching age in the 1960s, and there were plenty of good ones. Planet of the Apes, Cool Hand Luke, The Sound of Music, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and of course, Sean Connery as Bond, James Bond. Disney was going strong then with two big movies in that decade, 101 Dalmatians with Cruella de Vil, and a movie that is one of my favorites to this day, The Jungle Book. It was remade in 2017, but the 1967 version is my favorite. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the movie, it's based on the 1894 novel by Rudyard Kipling about a boy, Mowgli, who was raised by a family of wolves, but forced to leave the only home he had ever known when the fearsome tiger, Shere Khan, threatened his life. He was befriended by a panther and a bear who guided him through adventures with various jungle animals, including a slithery python and a smooth-talking ape, Good King Louie. Along the way, Mowgli learned some valuable life lessons and had enough adventure and fun to make the movie memorable. Mowgli is certainly the central character, but in the movie, it's the carefree bear, Baloo, who stole the show with an unforgettable song that some of you have already started singing in your head, right? Look for the bare necessities, the simple, go ahead, sing along. The simple bare necessities. Forget about your worry and your strife. I mean the bare necessities, old Mother Nature's recipes that brings the bare necessities of life. Now, I know that's a long way from Phil Harris or even Bill Murray in the new version, but there you go. As Baloo and Mowgli are singing in the movie, we see them enjoying bananas and coconuts, dancing with elephants, chasing butterflies, and leisurely swimming across a pond. Simple pleasures that make Baloo say, "That's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life." So, what are the bare necessities of our practice? What are the bare necessities of insight meditation? Let's go all the way back to the basics, starting with a definition. Insight meditation is a method of meditation that comes directly from a discourse attributed to the Buddha himself, the Satipatthana Sutta. Now, the suttas are collections of the Buddhist teaching that were originally passed down by his disciples, male monks who were typically referred to as bhikkhus. And these bhikkhus later assembled these sermons and teachings into a canon of writings. The Satipatthana Sutta, which is the Buddha's discourse on the foundations of mindfulness, is generally regarded as the Buddhist text with the fullest instructions on the system of meditation believed to be practiced by the Buddha himself, insight meditation. So, what is it? Insight meditation is the practice of continued close attention to sensation that helps us see the true nature of existence. It's learning to be in the here and now. It's paying attention to the present moment. We hear, we smell, we feel, and we learn to have thoughts without being caught up in them and have them take us away. We pay attention to the point that we know when we're not paying attention. And we gently bring ourselves back to the present moment. It's a form of mental training that is essentially retraining the mind. It's acquiring the ability to stop and just be. Let's do it now. 3 breaths. Stop and just be. Here we go. Yeah. Basically, to practice, we find a quiet place for meditation and we sit. We may sit on a cushion with our legs crossed, or we may be in a chair like most of us are tonight. But we want to achieve a position where our back is erect at a right angle to the ground, not too stiff, but in a position where our body can be at peace. We close our eyes or leave them barely open and we breathe. As we breathe, we pay attention to the breath. And that's the key. We don't just breathe, we pay attention to the breath. One of the Buddhist discourses that talks about this process is called the Anapanasati Sutta, Mindfulness of Breathing. It's a teaching of the Buddha to a community of monks regarding how mindfulness of in and out breathing can be of great benefit. Mindfulness, that is, awareness of in and out breathing, serves as an anchor to becoming mindful of other things, other physical and mental phenomena which arise. It's the first way to get focused. Let me share a few lines of that sutta with you. And how, bhikkhus, is mindfulness of breathing developed and cultivated so that it is of great fruit and great benefit? Here, a bhikkhu, gone to the forest or to the root of a tree or to an empty hut, sits down. Having folded his legs crosswise, set his body erect, and established mindfulness in front of him, ever mindful, he breathes in. Mindful, he breathes out. Breathing in long, he understands, I breathe in long. Or breathing out long, he understands, I breathe out long. Breathing in short, he understands, I breathe in short. Or breathing out short, he understands, I breathe out short. He trains thus, I shall breathe in experiencing the whole body of breath. He trains thus, I shall breathe out, experiencing the whole body of breath. The sutta goes on to talk about how mindfulness of breathing can lead to the development of specific factors leading to awakening. There are many of those, and we encounter them as we get deeper into the study of the Dharma. But tonight I want to focus primarily on breathing as a foundation or focus to develop a clear awareness of exactly what is happening as it happens, which is a significant part of what insight meditation is all about. That awareness has to start somewhere, and for that awareness to begin, we have to learn how to leave where we were, stop, and enter into the present moment. In his wonderful book of daily readings, Your True Home, Vietnamese Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh puts it like this. Breathing in, repeat, in the here, in the here. Breathing out, repeat, in the now, in the now. Although these are different words, they mean exactly the same thing. I have arrived in the here. I have arrived in the now. I am home in the here. I am home in the now. When you practice like that, you practice stopping. And stopping is the basic Buddhist practice of meditation. You stop running. You stop struggling. You allow yourself to rest, to heal, to calm. Okay, let's try this one. Get into a meditation posture. Breathing in the here and the here. Breathing out in the now, in the now. In the here and the here. In the now, in the now. In the here, in the here. In the now, in the now. You feel that? When we achieve that level of calming and arrive into the present moment, we have the opportunity to establish a baseline of presence, a reference point that we can return to whenever needed. In his book, Mindfulness in Plain English, Bhante Gunaratana writes, "We use breath as our focus. It serves as that vital reference point from which the mind wanders and is drawn back. Distraction cannot be seen as distraction unless there's some central focus to be distracted from. That is the frame of reference against which we can view the incessant changes and interruptions that go on all the time as part of normal thinking." Where do these incessant changes and interruptions come from? They come from what we add to the bare facts of a perception as presented through our physical senses or through the mind. This is called bare attention, which is certainly one of the bare necessities of insight meditation. As defined in the book, The Heart of Buddhist Meditation, bare attention is the clear and single-minded awareness of what actually happens to us and in us at the successive moments of perception. Mindfulness is kept to a bare registering of the facts observed, without reacting to them by deed, speech, or by mental comment, which may be one of self-reference. We like, we dislike, or maybe judgment or even reflection. Bare attention is simply bare of labels. It is to the best of our ability the exact registering of an object. The additions that come may be considered later, but the goal is to keep the initial object of perception free from the additions and then return to the present moment. It's been kind of difficult for me lately, especially as my work as a hospice professional has led me deeper into some of the realities of COVID-19. Found it more and more difficult to return to bare attention at times. I've even wondered sometimes if I'm meditating or just contemplating. I got some good guidance from a mentor, though, who said, maybe I need to be doing both. Separately, but both. Set aside a time for contemplation first and see if that eliminates some of the intensity of the distractions I've been experiencing, allowing me to return to bare attention and focus on the present moment. But without mindfulness, we get distracted so easily. We need something to return to, and that something is mindfulness of breathing. You may have heard someone say, just take a deep breath when trying to calm someone down. Actually, though, it's not just the breath. It's the awareness of the breath, knowing you are breathing, feeling that breath that brings you back to center, to calm, to the present moment from which you were distracted. You may have heard the story of the person with age-activated attention deficit disorder. Let me say that again. Age-activated attention deficit disorder. This is how it unfolds. I decided to wash my car. As I start toward the garage, I notice there's mail on the hall table. I decide to go through the mail before I wash the car. I lay my car keys down on the table, put the junk mail in the trash can under the table, and notice the trash can is full, so I decide to put the bills back on the table and take out the trash first. But then I think, since I'm going to be near the mailbox when I take out the trash anyway, I might as well pay some bills first. Take my checkbook off the table and see that there's only one check left. Oh my goodness, my extra checks are in my desk in the study. So I go to the desk where I find the bottle of Coke I've been drinking. I'm going to look for my checks, but first I need to push the Coke aside so that I don't accidentally knock it over. I see that the Coke is getting warm and decide I should put it in the refrigerator to keep it cold. As I head toward the kitchen with the Coke, a vase of flowers on the counter catches my eye. They need to be watered. I set the Coke down on the counter and I discover my reading glasses that I've been searching for all morning, and on and on and on and on it goes. At the end of the day, the car isn't washed. The bills aren't paid. There's a warm bottle of Coke sitting on the counter. The flowers aren't watered. There's still only one check in my checkbook. I can't find the remote. I can't find my glasses, and I don't remember what I did with my car keys. Then when I try to figure out why nothing got done today, I'm really baffled because I know I was busy all day long and I'm really tired. You may not be like that at all, or maybe you are. I must admit, I have my moments. What I found though is there has to be an anchoring point to come back to, and that's the breath. The Buddha put it this way: in what is seen, there should be only the seen. In what is heard, only the heard. In what is sensed, as smell, taste, or touch, only the sensed. In what is thought, only the thought. We're talking the basics here, but we're also talking about things that take time to develop. Lots of time, because we've been conditioned to have a wandering with an A and wandering with an O mind. It all seems so easy. We go away and then we just come back. But is it really that easy? Bhante Gunaratana writes, the mind is tricky. Thought is an inherently complicated procedure. By that we mean that we become trapped, wrapped up, and stuck in the thought chain. One thought leads to another, which leads to another and another and another. 15 minutes later, we suddenly wake up and realize we spent that whole time stuck in a daydream, or sexual fantasy, or a set of worries about our bills or whatever. So how do we tame this runaway mind? We use the breath as an object to come back to. Breathing is perfect because it's something we can and usually do without awareness. But when we become aware of it, it tunes our senses to be aware of other things as well, like bodily sensations, sounds, feelings, and yes, thoughts. The breath is always there. It is a present time process that puts you in the present moment. And once you learn to use it, you have the opportunity to develop focus that leads to great benefit, as the sutta says. The first step to using the breath in your meditation is to find it. That is, find your breath. Where does it come in? What does it feel like? Does it make your chest or belly move? Is it hindered in any way? Getting in touch with the breath helps us get in touch with the body, with our feelings, and with our mind. The state you're aiming for is one in which you are totally aware of everything that is happening. Unbroken awareness in present time. Starts with one small bit of time, one single inhalation, one bit of focus, one resting place, one opportunity to become fully present to what is truly happening around you and within you. Seeing in a way that leads to insight and new understanding. Like Mowgli and Baloo, bouncing at ease through the forest, in the here, in the now, with what they need for the present moment, the bare necessities. And when you get right down to it, breath is absolutely a bare necessity of life. And there goes that song again. Look for the bare necessities. Old Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Okay, I'm going to turn the chat box on. We've got some time. And any questions, comments you might have, I would certainly welcome those. I see we have 67 participants tonight. That's wonderful. I hope everybody is doing well. Really appreciate you being here, and appreciate our Sangha. We've got such a great Sangha. J. Patrick George, thank you. Sue Knight, could you share more about insights from your work with COVID-19? Thanks, Sue. One of my first insights is simply impermanence. We take so much for granted, and there's just so much mystery in COVID-19. There's so much we don't know. There's actually debate as to even its existence or spread. My primary insight, though, has to do with what I see as a time to just really take life seriously. One of the tragedies is simply from a grief perspective, which, as you know, is one of my departments, grief and spirituality. The idea of people not being together at the time of death, at the most important time, or even coming in the last minute when perhaps so much that needs to be said can't be said, and then the grief afterwards of maybe not being able to say goodbye or say some things that possibly needed to be said. I grieve in so many ways for that, but at the same time, acknowledging how things can just fade away in a hurry, and what we sometimes take for granted, we perhaps need to have a little more gratitude about. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the comments. These are very nice. I appreciate it. The lightness of my singing. Yeah, it's kind of light. My daughter's actually an opera teacher, but I wouldn't dare go near that. But I love music, and music is really an important part of how I look at life. Okay, well, if there are no other questions, let me take a moment to review our announcements. This being the 13th of May means we only have 2 more weeks before we begin the Summer Sutta series. May 27th, June 3rd, June 10th, the 17th, and the 24th. So that is a 5-part series, and it'll be led by our Dharma leaders. And certainly hope you'll participate in that. The annual picnic on May 24th at Freedom Park has been canceled. I want to make sure to note that. There's a summer book discussion coming up, and I want you to consider that one of my first events that I participated in when I was a new Sangha member was the wonderful book study that Joy and Debbie led on Joseph Goldstein's book, Mindfulness. But this book discussion, which is for beginners and experienced practitioners, is 2 Zoom sessions. It'll be June 4th and July 9th. June 4th and July 9th is from noon to 2 p.m. It's led by Joy, and it's The Little Book of Being by Diana Winston. And you can find Joy's contact information on our website to register. And please check out our website, imccharlotte.org, for other upcoming events and changes to events, and just to keep track of what's going on. And Denise just put the address up. Thank you, Denise. Appreciate that. Ongoing announcements. There's a Donna box in the back, and we're not there. So how do we donate? We support our Sangha online, and I hope you're able to do that. It's just so important to me that we still have the opportunity to do that. And if you get a chance and feel led to support the Sangha in that way, please do so. Okay, let's conclude our night together with our metta meditation. Metta, of course, is the Pali word for loving kindness. So let's get into our meditation posture again. Just get a few deep breaths, get your shoulders loose, and think of someone you would like to extend metta to. You may say their name out loud or silently now. And get a picture of them in your mind. We're going to extend metta to them, but before we do, let's extend metta to ourselves with these phrases that you may repeat to yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be safe from inner and outer harm. May I be well in body and mind. May I be at ease and happy. And now as we extend metta to the one who is on our mind, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be safe from inner and outer harm. May you be well in body and mind. May you be at ease and happy. And now may we extend metta to all. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all beings be safe from inner and outer harm. May all beings be well in body and mind. May all beings be at ease and happy. Thank you for being a part of our gathering tonight. I hope you have a great week.